online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back for episode 2 of season 6, The League. And this episode is called Teflandre. Teflandre. I'm your host, Jenifer Golden, and with me, my lovely co-host,
George Hermoza.
What up?
I missed you.
The 6 days we weren't together? Mm-hmm. I know. Well, here we are.
I tweeted you during the week.
You did. You did, and someone else did too. One of our fans.
Shout out to her.
What up?
I forgot your name, though.
I could tell you real
I forgot
quick.
to write it down.
Oh, no.
But I did respond to your question.
We're already failing.
The reason why I don't have women in my football league, because nobody ever offers.
It's true. It's true. Tamala. I hope that I'm pronouncing it correctly. Tamala. Hello.
Shout out. What?
Shout out. All right. Well, this episode was called Teflandre. And that, got coined last episode because Andre.
He's usually known for his being the brunt of every joke.
Right.
Now, kind of, he started off the season with being the clever guy.
He was.
The guy with the slams, the guy with the put-downs. People giving him praise, just constant high fives for the slams.
Definitely getting fives for that.
So that's how we got the name Teflandre. But I think it got to the point where everybody started questioning him.
Yeah, because they're like, it's just too good. Like, Andre, what are you doing different?
Like, there's no way you can just automatically get that funny or that good.
Right. Like, you can't all of a sudden be better at fantasy football and better at life and better at everything. And, he was sort of trying to play it off in the beginning of the episode where he's just like, you know what? Success in life, success in all areas. Yeah. Trying to obviously cover what was really going on.
Yeah. We'll get to that later. But it started off with Kevin at the doctor's office. I guess he had some issues with low testosterone.
Low T.
Poor Kevin.
First
he has the Shiva. Now he's going to get low testosterone. I think they prescribed him Androlube.
Yes, Androlube. And he's supposed to put it on his shoulders. And that is supposed to make him then get boners.
And essentially, things should get bigger, things should get stronger. Mm-hmm. So essentially, I think his initial reaction was, gee, I wonder what would happen if I put it on other places of my body.
Right. He thought, like, shouldn't this just go straight to the area that it's going to help? And the doctor, of course, was like, you wouldn't put, what was it? Like,
you wouldn't rub aspirin on your head.
Right, because that doesn't help the issue of a headache. Hello. You ingest it, and then it helps your headache go away. So that's the same, concept as this Andro lube. While it does sound like lube that you would put on
the whole time I'm watching, not for myself, I was just kind of curious if that thing really does exist.
I wonder. I would say that they probably have something out there that's testosterone related, but I would also assume you ingest it, not put it on.
I would hope so.
It's not like Bengay or like Salon.
Because essentially any kind of gel, you tend to. Whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, maybe it might get on other places. So who knows? So yeah, I would hope that they don't have it as a gel or a cream or.
That could get hairy. Get it? I know. So I think maybe this would be like a good time to talk about our favorite quote of the episode. What do you think?
I mean, my personal, just because it was in the, I was looking for. It happened early on in the episode when he was at the doctor's office, and it kind of became an early lead. And so the whole episode I was watching, but I was also like, wonder if that can get ahead of the quote. So no, and it still ended with the lead. My own personal quote was, they were at the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh, what are some of the side effects of this Androlube? Doctor said, just boners. It's like, oh, I can live with that. And of course, typical Kevin, he's like, oh, I'm going to put this right on my penis. Of course, I'm almost certain that you are, Kevin.
Yes, I love his response.
The whole trailer, us two were just laughing.
Right.
Even the dogs were laughing.
Yes, we were laughing because we love when the straight people in that episode, like, the straight man, not like sexually straight, but the person that's a real person basically in the episode interacts with these characters and how absurd they are, and they call them out on their nonsense. So basically the doctor was saying, like, I'm talking to you like a child, because you are a child, basically. And I sort of felt that you would do the thing I told you not to do.
It's like, I'm not doubting that you're going to put it down there. So just, there's nothing I can do about it. Even if I say don't do it, he's going to do it anyway. So do what you got to do.
Yes. So the quote of the night was,
at least for me,
I was already certain you would. Or I was almost certain you would. Anyway, you guys should totally tweet us and tell us your favorite lines of the episode, too. We've got some other good ones that we'll, cross as we go on.
I got a couple other more. I was writing them down. I was like, potential.
It's hard to choose the show. The show's so good.
Many, yeah.
And then also at the same time, while it's such a short show, there's so much that's going on. So, one of the other things that are, occurring in this episode is the discussion of the 8th member of the league, because someone has to replace... how soon I forgot his name.
I'm just going to call him Adam Brody.
Adam Brody. Oh, my God. What was his name? It was just last week that he died.
I want to say Pete, but obviously it's not Pete.
No. Ted.
Ted.
All right. So we need to replace Ted, and also one of the stipulations of his will was they only get the beach house if they replace him. So they can't have a 7-person league. They have to fairly win in an 8-person league, and they have to replace him. So while they're discussing this at the place they always eat, which is...
usually Kevin's house, usually they're at.
Well, yeah, or they eat at that salad place that they were at. I think it's a salad. It's some kind of buffet situation. So they consider their options, one being Rafi, like you suggested might be the option. And then they see Russell.
The sex addict.
I
like Russell.
Do you? Why? Tell us.
No, he just got I think it was season 2 where he was just kind of going graphic on what triggers his sex addiction, whether it's little tiny tomatoes, or just random things, like I think he said pine cones triggers a sex addict.
Such a strange thing, but we do hear a little bit about those kinds of comments tonight.
But he said he was a recovering sex addict, so
right.
I think he was good now.
He said he cured himself, which if you know of any addict, it's not you don't cure yourself of it. You're just in recovery.
I used to watch a lot of Phil Donahue, and there are some serious sex addicts out there.
Well, Russell was
one of them.
One of them. So. He then said his new addiction is wine, and you can't get addicted to wine. But so he opened a wine shop, and now he serves wine. So the guys, they're like, okay, well, please join our league. And he's like, well, I can only join your league if you're not going to haze me, because I get turned on by that. And you can't write, like the jokes that they basically say, like the gay jokes about
it's gonna trigger
doing
him.
things to each other, because that's what they do, because that will trigger him. And they're like, what about if I love Ruxin, of course, the lawyer, who's like, what if it's eloquently written with proper grammar and spelling? He's like, no.
No, he said he'll think about it.
Yeah.
He said he'll think about it.
So anyway, they leave it up to Kevin to figure out, because Kevin's the commissioner.
He's got to.
He's got to. So when Russell is still turning them down, Kevin goes in to figure it all out. He stops by the wine shop.
I mean, got a little uncomfortable for a second. I mean, Kevin never said no. Remember that. Right.
Well, so basically what happened was Russell was like, well, if I'm going to join the league, I'm going to have sex with you. And he's
love.
like, love
making
is what his therapist calls it. And he's going on and on and on about how he has to basically do sex with Kevin.
I mean, I got a little uncomfortable there for a second.
Did you?
I mean, I'm sure if I was in that scene as Kevin, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, they just want to see how far he was willing to go. If they really wanted him to be the 8th member, then you gotta do everything you gotta do. But you also gotta think about it, and I'm kind of curious what the tweets were. If you were in that position where the winner of the league gets the beach house, would you, how far would you go? I personally wouldn't immediately.
Oh.
Yet. I'm just saying I would at least think about it for a second before, but most likely not.
All right. Well, now we know the barometer for which you would, the lengths which you'd go to get a beach house.
I need to see this beach house. That's all I got to say.
Anybody has a beach house.
That's all I got to say.
And you want to see if George would do some things to get that beach house, call George. All right. So we find out, though, that that's all a prank. And it was actually the mastermind of Andre Tefl on fire. He comes up with this prank that the guys are going to, have Russell do this to Kevin to actually haze Kevin because they can't haze Russell.
Even though Russell's the new guy, they're still hazing the commissioner.
Right. And
he's the psycho. What can you do?
And he's very committed, clearly, because he didn't say no.
He never said no.
And Russell said he would join, and also that the guys could watch the games at his wine bar every week, and that it was on Andre's tab. Gotta love that Andre, except that we then find out. Yeah. Should we get into that?
I wanted to see a little bit more of Tefl Andre. I kind of didn't want him to go back to the real Andre.
No, but I wonder how much longer they could have kept it like
true.
that.
That's true. I mean, we saw him, if anybody knows, everybody watches football in the morning. Jay Glazer, he's a Fox analyst. He does a lot of football analysts. He does some UFC as well, but his main job is every Sunday. So a celebrity cameo, Jay Glazer.
Right.
Was not expecting that. It's just kind of, Jay, and then you see the real Jay Glazer there.
Right.
So that was kind of cool. I don't know. Jay Glazer was so witty because he was the one feeding Andre all his lines.
He was, and so via an earpiece, that then Andre had a microphone in his collar of his shirt to respond to Jay, who was only a short distance away, feeding him lines to respond to the guys.
Yeah.
So we find out Jay is doing this for Andre because Andre donates to his charity, and he's only going to do one last thing for him. He's already helped him a couple times.
But also, too, he's not only feeding the line, but he's also helping us with his fantasy football lineup.
Right, that too. So he's been helping him, and he's like, this is the last time, you're on your own after this. I'm throwing you back to the Wolves. So while they're all hanging out at the wine bar, Andre is ready to lay some slams down.
Well,
and
first, though, there was a not weird, but very... I guess weird meeting between Pete and Andre. Remember, Jay was in Andre's office. Pete comes in. Jay's hiding. Pete kind of comes in. He's like, you know what? I take my role in the league very, very seriously.
Yes.
Grabs a pair of scissors. Kind of scary. I'm like, hey, I want to know. I like to know that you are becoming this cool guy now. But for whatever reason, if you're not, if somebody's aiding you, then there's going to be serious repercussions. He did something with the scissors where I was like,
it's a little snip, snip.
I don't know what that symbolized, though.
I think a little snip, snip.
I mean, maybe not. I mean, kind of scary to think about. I'm kind of looking forward to what's going to happen in episode 3.
Yeah, now that so what happened after that was, they're sitting around at the wine bar, and Andre celebrates, his team doing well or something, jumps up and down. His earpiece actually falls out into the guacamole, which then is removed from the table. Jay Glazer is trying to signal to him, no, time out. I saw your thing fall out of your ear. Andre doesn't even get what's happening.
It's just funny because, if you remember, there was that one time where it's he's getting it ready. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
And there's that pause where it's then he gets into that weird accent.
Oh, he was doing the Cockney accent, and Jay was like, whatever you do, don't do that. And, of course, he falls right back into it because he didn't have Jay in his ear, and Andre was Andre again. And
the real Andre came out.
The real Andre, can you please stand up?
Tefl Andre is dead.
Yeah. It's all right. You know what? The truth always comes out better now. I wonder, though, what they're going to do to him now that they know he was being fed.
I know. I mean, I'm kind of curious. I still want to know what those, even if it's a snip, it's kind of scary.
They take this league very seriously, so I wouldn't be surprised if they haze him like crazy. Absolutely.
I mean, that's one of those things where episode 3, hopefully it's not too bad.
Hopefully.
Sorry, Andre.
Hopefully. Sorry, Andre.
You should try to come up with your own material.
Oh, he was doing so well.
I know.
Oh, well.
It's I'd never seen him to get so much praise in one episode.
Right?
Every 5 seconds, it was fives.
Right.
It's wow.
Too good to be true.
I know. I knew it was all going to come to a head.
It was. Speaking of a head, baby Jeffrey, not so baby anymore. Jeffrey is Ruxin's kid. He's on a baseball team. And
sucks, pretty much.
He is so uncoordinated.
He's got that Ruxin athletic ability, which is none, pretty much.
Right. So he's got weak arms, the whole thing, and this affects Ruxin in a negative way because his company that he works for, the law firm,
sponsors a little league team. So if the team does well, the company does well, everybody wins.
Right.
So yeah, Ruxin got very, very, very worried and concerned, but
Coincidentally,
little baby Jeffrey found the andro lube.
yes, he did. And so Andre, one of his random things he was said during this whole episode was that the mitt that baby Jeffrey was using wasn't like lubed enough and he needed to put some oil on it or whatever nonsense he said. That was kind of creepy. So baby Jeffrey went to the bathroom, happened to see some oil laying around. It was the andro lube, grabs it, swiped it like a little thief.
Puts it on. Or I think it was first accidental. But the thing is, it wasn't so much a secret because all the guys knew. They're like, oh, what are you doing? My kid found the andro lube.
Right.
I knew it was yours, Kevin, because it's got your name on it. And then, of course, they make fun of him again.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, him and Jenny talking. I mean, she was kind of leading him on as well, kind of calling him some weird names.
Yeah.
Kind of missed some. I know one of them was like Jose Canseco or something like that.
No, actually, Jose Canseco was Ruxin's line and no rod because he was saying to Kevin that he needed more lube. And so he walked in and was like, hello, Jose Canseco, you know.
Real quick, though, before we go on to the next part of the show.
Yes.
Podcast One.
Oh.
You can go to that website, fill out a 30-second... I'm sorry. You can fill out a survey. It's probably going to take me 30 seconds to say this. 3-minute survey. We like to hear so much feedback from you guys. Send us your tweets. Send us your comments. We personally will probably even respond to you directly as that one. I forgot her name. Tamala. You should personally know that we respond to your tweets and comments. Send us the tweets, comments, Facebook, YouTube. Put in some YouTube comments. iTunes.
YouTube.
Rate us on iTunes. We like to hear
5 stars, please. If you're going to go there and rate, please give us 5.
I give myself 5 stars. Does that mean? Is that cheating?
No, I think that's fair.
Okay.
It's a fair assessment of yourself.
Yeah. So keep those tweets, keep those surveys coming. Podcast One.
Yep. Let us know what you think, what you want, what you don't want, what you like. You know, that whole thing.
Anyways.
We care what you have to say.
We really do. We really do. I got a little upset during the episode, going back to the episode.
Yes.
I got a little upset during the episode because I'm thinking, the kid was growing all this hair everywhere.
Like a 6-year-old Tom Selleck.
And I didn't even have that much chest hair like at 21. And I'm like, come on, baby Jeffrey. You're making me look bad.
He had a mustache. He had chest hair. He had armpit hair.
He was huge.
Apparently, he also had huge balls.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the end. But, yeah, walking around like he owns the place. I think at one point, Ruxin comes in, and in a very deep voice, you hear, little baby Jeffrey, get out of my room.
Yes. It was
Get out of my room.
Baby Jeffrey became a 19-year-old man in a 6-year-old's body. So it was just very funny because he had all this testosterone and was killing it in baseball.
So in turn, the team started winning, hitting home runs, hitting grand slams. I mean, everybody's happy. Ruxin wants more of the cream.
Yeah.
He wants more of the lube. The coach is happy. The sponsors are happy. And then all came crashing at the end. I think it was that final game.
Yeah, when they won.
They won,
because
they
of
did
baby
win.
Jeffrey, or Big G, as the coach called him.
I didn't want to say Rob Riggle.
Yes.
Rob Riggle was the coach.
Love him.
I love Rob Riggle as well.
He's so great.
He's hilarious in pretty much everything that he does.
Yeah.
21 Jump Street, whatever, Saturday Night Live, but now the League. He can add on to that list of celebrities, and hopefully we can interview and talk about the League.
Call us.
Or tweet us.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Because we'll tweet you.
Exactly.
We'll find you. So yeah, well, they're celebrating and doing like a victory, like baby Jeffrey, and baby Jeffrey splits his pants.
Yeah, and then everybody saw something that's not normal in a 6-year-old kid.
No, 19-year-old sized balls.
And then
I'm just gonna keep saying balls.
Balls, yeah. I say testicles.
They call them clackers.
They did call
I'm
them clackers.
just repeating what they said. I'm not saying I call them that.
Well, you just did.
You're right.
Yeah.
You are right.
Jen the Jew. Yeah, and then the coach was not very happy with that. Apparently, because of the obvious usage of testosterone, they had to forfeit.
Yep.
And apparently, Rob Riggle, the coach, was not happy with that because now he's as he would say to Ruxin. His job is
And Ruxin's like, where's it going? Come back. The fake job going into oblivion. The one other thing that happened in this episode was Taco Corp was, getting a board member. Pete became the board member. And this storyline,
unwillingly.
but then
course.
kind of willingly a little
Yeah.
bit because, you know, Taco nominated him after he nominated everybody. But Pete actually agreed to it.
Yeah.
But what was weird was this storyline in general. I would guess, though, that I'll save my response for predictions.
I mean, if anything, I can tell just based on what some patterns of previous episodes before, kind of like planting a seed and then maybe
Why don't you simmer that for some predictions?
what. Ooh.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Well, according to Taco, the EBDB, the Eskimo Brother Database, he said is running huge, so it's got to be something into that.
I would guess you are correct. There's going to be some dating going on.
Maybe. I mean,
Well, let's talk about the board. So we've got what Punja? No, what
I didn't get their
they
names.
call
but
him Gupta or something
Gupta,
like
yeah.
that, like Sanjay Gupta, because he's an Indian fellow, and
They're
then
like a homeless person.
and then a homeless person named Slick.
Oh yeah, you're right. Slick.
Okay, so Gupta is the HR. No, Gupta is the accounting person.
Slick
is the HR, and Pete is unclear. But you know, I like that Taco is introducing their roles and saying, you know, should you be sexually harassed, you let Slick know. However, if you're sexually harassed by Slick, you then go to Gupta, and then he'll direct you right back to Slick.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Right. Exactly. So I have a feeling that.
What do you think?
There's going to be more to the Taco Corp. There was a lot last season. He had a series of businesses. So I think this is like the, you know, setup for whatever's to come.
Yeah, I agree.
Possibly even next episode. You know?
A lot's gonna happen next episode.
A lot's going to happen because
Like I
we've
said,
been focusing on Andre.
The fallout of Teflondre.
Teflondre is done. Ted is dead. They need an 8th member of the league.
They got Russell the sex addict.
They got Russell the sex addict. We got to see what's going to happen with that. And more with Taco Corp. I'm pretty excited. What about you?
I'm pretty excited as well. I'm always curious on who they're going to bring in next. I know you were ranting and raving about Jordan Cameron last week.
Love.
I mean, I got a little mistake. I know he's been in the league for a little bit. I think I said he was like in his 2nd year, but so all the people that watch and corrected me, I'm sorry. I can make mistakes, but yeah, Jordan Cameron, he had a pretty good week too. So shout out to him and football.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, wait, where can people shout out to you?
To me personally, you can go to @AfterBuzz TV always because they have so many other programming as well.
They do.
I'm also on one of the other ones, UFC After Show AfterBuzz. You can follow me on Twitter @GHermoza. Follow me on Instagram. I got some pretty fun pictures. Shout out to my fantasy football team. I did 1-1, so. Can't talk. You got to talk about fantasy football. When
You
I'm
got
doing
it. You got it. Well, I hope you're winning. And you can find me @JenTheJew on Twitter and Instagram and Vine. My website, JeniferGolden.com. On Facebook as Jenifer Golden. And soon to be on Manhattan Love Story and Marry Me @AfterBuzz.
Marry me.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, is that something? Wow. I don't have a ring, though.
Okay, it's not going to work out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.